the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's playoff football time on the Oklahoma Sports Network as the 8-2 two-seeded Jones Longhorns will face off with the 6-4 three-seeded Lindsay Leopards here at Tim Wallace Memorial Stadium. I'm Zach Reynolds with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network, and alongside me is Tessa Durrell. And Tessa, it's the playoffs. From here on out, it's win or go home.
Yep. You know, there's something so special about playoff football, especially in 2A. I'm really excited for them because you know, of course, now we have 2A split, so the playoff schedule looks a little bit different. And honestly, I think that fares better for Jones here. I think there's going to be some tough matchups along the way, but I'm hoping Jones can get this done tonight and then keep it going.
As the 2 seed, Jones gets to host this first playoff game, and if they win and move on, they will be on the road from here on out. But it's nice to have a home playoff game and expect a good crowd on hand here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I feel like there's always a nice little home advantage here in Jones just because there's typically such a good turnout, but especially when we get into these playoff games. However, when it comes playoff time, I promise you the Jones stands are usually going to be full no matter how far they have to travel. And that's just something with a football culture like they have here at Jones. I don't see that as a problem, you know, going on the road because they're a second seed. I think they're going to be just fine, and as long as they produce on the field, they should be good.
Longhorns, as I mentioned, 8-2 in the regular season and the 2 seed here in their district, and led by a great season from quarterback Asen Hansen, just a junior, but he's had a great year. 2,169 passing yards, add on 680 rushing yards. He's a do-it-all quarterback, and we expect to see the same here come playoff time.
Oh, yeah, and we were talking about it before looking at the bracket, just thinking about Jones's offense here. With Asen, he's a dual-threat quarterback in the run game, and then he's developed into having a great passing game. But also we have so many rotations at the running back position, which keeps him so versatile. And we were talking before the show, before the broadcast, about how as you start to develop and go into playoff games, it really tests your football intelligence as a team to go against offenses like that. So Jones has a bit of an advantage here in that versatility because, you know, in a single game and just having a week to prepare for teams, it makes it a lot tougher to adapt to a team that's as versatile as Jones is on the offensive side.
And Jones led by, as you mentioned, a dual-threat quarterback. On the other side, the Lindsay Leopards, we expect to see them run the ball a lot. That's what they've done all year, and it's worked for them.
Yep. Yeah, I think last game they attempted to pass twice, and that was it. So Jones kind of knows what to expect here, although I don't want to jinx anything. I said that. I'll probably say this, and they'll come out passing their first drive. But it doesn't seem like they're going to pass too much, so I think that also fares well for Jones here because their defense does see more success in stopping the run than stopping the pass at times. So I think this is a good matchup for Jones, especially this first week here for this first round of playoffs. I feel like there's a little bit of nerves sometimes, a little bit of butterflies going on, so this may be a great matchup for them, hopefully to get any kinks out of the way, anything that could hurt them later on in the playoff path. But I think we're going to see a good game tonight.
Obviously, Jones last year made a deep run in the playoffs but had a heartbreaking loss at the end. What do you want to see in this first game of the playoffs, game where they are favored to win, but you never know, it's playoff time, anything can happen?
Yeah.
What do you want to see in this first game to try to ramp up to finish the story in this playoff run?
Yeah, well, you know, being from Jones and then, of course, having a dad who coaches at Jones, I can't stand playoff games when we get our heart broken by Washington like that. That happened my senior year. And one of the common threads a lot of times is silly mistakes, getting down on the goal line, fumbling the ball. Never want to do that. You got to hold on to the ball. It's precious, especially in playoffs. I think there's so much more weight on you not to make those silly mistakes. But then also, we have to have a strong secondary, as Jones needs to, in order to see success, because you have a lot less wiggle room. You know, when you're stopping a run game, you have wiggle room within your secondary to stop the run if your front doesn't. However, when teams look to pass as we get deeper into these playoffs, maybe not Lindsay, but other teams, that's going to be an issue. You can't make silly mistakes in the secondary because there's no one behind your secondary. So hopefully they can keep that strong and they'll stay successful in this playoff run.
About 9.5 minutes away from kickoff here in Jones, and we will step aside and come back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Bank First is uniquely Oklahoman, deeply rooted in over 50 communities statewide. From those roots, our investment in education springs forth, helping to raise the Oklahoma leaders of tomorrow while providing financial strength to the business leaders of today. That's the kind of loyalty that helps entire communities thrive. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Bank First is uniquely Oklahoman, deeply rooted in over 50 communities statewide. From those roots, our investment in education springs forth, helping to raise the Oklahoma leaders of tomorrow while providing financial strength to the business leaders of today. That's the kind of loyalty that helps entire communities thrive. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Zach Reynolds, Tessa Durrell back with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network, about 5 minutes away from kickoff here at Tim Wallace Memorial Stadium. First round of the playoffs. On this side of the bracket for Jones, we'll have them face Lindsay in this game. If they're able to move on, then they will likely face Metro Christian. Metro Christian facing Bethel tonight as well. Metro Christian expected to win, but like I'll say again, it's playoffs, anything can happen, but that would be the next matchup for Jones if they can handle business tonight.
Yep, and there's a little bit of a history there, too, because probably about 6-ish years ago, Metro Christian came in, beat Jones at home. to kick them out of the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see if they could have a comeback there. A little bit of bringing up old history there to rewrite it would be interesting.
So for Jones, really the second half of the season, I feel like they switched to more of a running offense that really relied on it. They moved Luke DeBus to playing both ways. He's started to take a lot of reps at running back, and he's been really good in that situation. Since he's taken, started taking reps as a running back, he's been a touchdown machine rushing the ball. He's got 9 touchdowns, and he only ran for maybe the last 5 games. The first several, he was linebacker only.
Yeah, it's just been interesting to see how much has developed with this Jones offense, and honestly, I think it puts your team in a better spot going into playoffs because you never want to give away too much going into playoffs just because if teams know what to expect, you can't keep them on their toes. So I think Jones is in a great spot because Ason's developed over time, Luke's developed, and Coda Harris has developed as well as players. And I think, once again, that's keeping them versatile going into the rest of these playoff games.
They have 3 players that have scored at least 8 rushing touchdowns this season: Hanson, Coda Harris, and Luke DeBusk, and a couple of others with a couple as well. On the receiving end, it's Chase Pitts and Creighton Jones obviously leading the way. You got Riley Ellison, the big tight end, as well, but Pitts and Jones each with 6+ touchdowns, Pitts with 8 of them.
Yes, and it's awesome to see Chase Pitts kind of come to shine here. His speed out there is something that not many defenses can keep up with. I mean, we saw it a couple weeks ago here at home. His big touchdown break, I mean, we got to talk to him about it after the game. Just his speed puts him at a spot to beat pretty much any secondary player he's going to run into.
Last week at Blackwell, last game of the regular season, first play from scrimmage after the opening kickoff. To try to set up a screen out to Chase Pitts, he ended up taking 80 yards to the house with that speed and some jukes as well. The captains for each team getting ready to go out to midfield for the coin toss. And the coin toss is brought to you by Revitalize Implants. They restore your smile for less. Outstanding care, comfort, and affordability are their top priorities, and they are dedicated to providing modern, cost-effective dental implant solutions to fit any budget. Call to set up an appointment at 405-216-3735 or visit them online at revitalizeimplants.com. Again, that's Revitalize Implants, the sponsor of the coin toss. And you can see a group of seniors to go and take the coin toss for Jones here in this playoff game. And it's a spot that they're used to. Jones used to making the playoffs, but every year you got to know that there's some added pressure, it feels like.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And something so cool about this team is, I don't know that I expected them to develop into the team that they have. I knew they were great. I knew they were going to be successful, but just seeing how they've grown and these seniors really have developed into a core senior group, I think it's really impressive to me. In high school football, I feel like you really expect what you're going to have in August, and then that's what you have in the end. But that's just not the case here, and I think it puts them in a great spot.
I think a big part of it for Jones as well is how many young players are getting involved.
Yes.
And a lot of, Ason Hanson, the quarterback, only a junior. There's a number of juniors, a couple of sophomores that have played key roles on this team this year.
Yeah, and Ason is something that's really special because it takes experience to be a great quarterback, and we all know that. And there's a lot of scary things when it comes to being the quarterback of a team with pressure in the quarterback spot like Jones. They've always had a great quarterback as far back as I can remember. So he's really stepped into that role and developed throughout the season, but come next year, he's going to be great, and he's going to be someone that schools have to watch out for. He is now, but even more so next year.
We're going to take one last break here and then be back with the kickoff on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Longhorns come out of the tunnel here and take the field just moments away from kickoff in the opening round of the playoffs here, Class 2A1 in Oklahoma. The Longhorns hosting the Lindsay Leopards and for the first round and trying to get a big mark and a big start to make a playoff run this season.
Yep, like I said, I think this game is going to be really telling of what Jones can do in the long run and how far they're going to make it, just because if you can play a clean game tonight, keep it clean, don't make silly mistakes, you're in a good spot. And I feel like that's the case across all of 2A right now. The teams that play the cleanest and don't shoot themselves in the foot put themselves in the best position for successful play later on the path.
So as we mentioned, just moments away here from kickoff, and Lindsay on the season was 6-4, and they are the 3 seed out of their district, but a good team nonetheless, and it looks like they will receive the opening kickoff. So we're just about to start their first quarter, brought to you by Valor Physical Therapy in Choctaw. They offer tailored treatment options to address your discomfort or injury using cutting-edge methods and advanced technological testing. Shoulder, hip, knee, foot, ankle, and cervical pain are all things that they can help you with. And they're at Northeast 23rd Street in Choctaw, or call them by phone at 405-993-3157. That's Valor Physical Therapy in Choctaw. And like I mentioned, Lindsay will take the opening kickoff here, and we'll get to see how the Jones defense holds up against what we expect to be a big rushing attack.
We'll see. I'm excited to see if we've jinxed it or not about them going dominantly a run game here.
Denton Taylor back to receive the kickoff for the Leopards. Colson Lindsay will kick this, a line drive. Taylor missed it. It went through his arms and into the end zone for a touchback.
That was almost rough there. That's the shooting yourselves in your own foot mistake that I was talking about earlier. A little bit of nerves. You can tell there's some playoff nerves here.
If that had deflected off of Taylor, that could have been trouble for the Leopards. Instead, they will have the touchback and start at the 20. They're led by a sophomore quarterback. It's Isaac Cameron, a young guy in at the quarterback position, and Taylor back in as his running back. 2 receivers stacked on top of each other to each side of the formation. It's a run up the middle to Dutton Taylor, and he picks up a few yards and is down. Ended up picking up 5, was able to fall ahead. Actually, they now mark it as a 6-yard gain, so a really good first down run for the Leopards.
You know, you have to be really careful when teams go a run game because, of course, it's quicker. Duh. You know, a run game moves quicker than a passing game typically. So you can't let them get too hot or get too much momentum here.
Crew flood now in the backfield. Taylor comes across the formation. He'll take the handoff, trying to get to the outside. DeBusk there to meet him. Gained another yard or 2 maybe, but DeBusk able to slow him down. It'll be 3rd down.
And that's great right there, seeing how quick Jones reacts and is really watching the football there. They're not getting tied up in anything happening other than hunting down the football in that situation.
So 3rd and 2 here from the 28, just underway in this opening round of the playoffs. And they get a jump. Hard count gets Jones to jump off sides, and that'll move the chains for the Leopards.
And don't fret, the cheering wasn't us. We're pretty close to some Leopard coaches over here, so don't think we were cheering against Jones. Don't be afraid. It wasn't us.
So they'll pick up the 5 yards to the 33 and have a fresh set of downs. Flood back there again as the running back for Lindsay. And we're going to have a pre-snap penalty. It looks like a false start. So although they did pick up the first down, they're going to go right back to the 28.
Yep, and see right there, that was a Jones mistake before, of course, going offsides. And so we got to be careful about that because, once again, that's shooting yourselves in the foot. But Lindsay's going to have to capitalize when they have opportunities, such as forcing Jones into penalties. You know, if you don't capitalize on those, you really lose momentum, like I said.
So after the penalty from each side, it's still at the 28, but it's now 1st and 15 rather than 3rd and 2. Man comes in motion. That is McCulley. Instead, it's a keeper for the quarterback. Breaks their first group of tackles, but he will be dropped for a loss. Was able to get away initially, but Jones' defensive line able to clean that one up. A big play. That was Cameron who tried to keep that one.
Yep, and it looks like the Jones line so far is moving quick to the ball, which is good to see here early on. We'll see if they can keep up with the continued run game.
It's a loss of 2 on the play to make it 2nd and 17. with this running attack. Already 2 minutes off the clock, 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter, brought to you by Valor. Cameron making adjustments at the line. Hands this one up off the middle, and lots of room for Flood that time, and he's up near the first down marker.
You know, that's one thing I talked about, too, this week. The nice thing about doing color here in Jones is I have a connection to a coach to talk to. So I called my dad, and I said, man, y'all are going to have a quick game with Lindsay. And he agreed, and I told him we were just discussing how clock management is going to be huge here because if you're running it, you're really in control.
He's just shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2 from the 42 here. Cameron again makes adjustments at the line. Savvy move from just a sophomore quarterback. He's under center. Will try to take it himself, and looks like he's going to be just short. We'll see where they mark it.
It's looking short from up here at least. You know, he's young, and it's interesting to see how much command he has of that offensive line right now. I feel like even on the Jones side of things, we don't see as much communication as we're seeing right now from this Lindsay offense.
So it's going to be 4th and inches here, and less than a full yard for sure. And the offense staying out there right now for Lindsay. See if they go back to a quarterback sneak type again. Right now, out of the shotgun. 2 running backs in the backfield. They hand off, and he is wrapped up immediately. Jones with a turnover on downs. The defensive line got through.
Man, that's a great momentum shift there for Jones because not only is that a great play and it keeps them from getting the first down, but you're hyped up down there. You can see it. You can see the energy get lifted. However, there's a flag, so we'll see what that is.
I believe this is going to be after the play. Going to be a flag on Jones celebrating. So I believe Jones should still get the football, but they will be backed up a little bit. Is what I'm thinking here.
Man, and that's a frustrating one too because those are the controllables. There's so many uncontrollables when it comes into playoff football time, you know, calls, things like that. But that one there, that's on you. You can stop that. So that's really disappointing to see, especially this early in the game when there's not a ton of emotion yet. There's nothing crazy that's happened. It's just disappointing to see something like that happen so soon.
It's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty. I didn't hear who they called it on, but that's important because if a player gets more than one unsportsmanlike, they'll be ejected from the game.
Yep.
So Hansen in the offense gets their first crack at it after the defense stands tall, and Hansen alone in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. And it's a low snap. Hansen's going to have to try to make something out of it. Evades a tackle. Now up the middle. Now we'll try to break it back outside. He's got the edge. He's got the first down and will step out of bounds to avoid a hit.
It's always good to see him step out of bounds sometimes. I get nervous. We talked about that the last couple of weeks. He's real brave. He plays hero ball in a great way, not in a bad way. It's in a great way because he can get it done, and he knows he can. So it's fun to see him get the first down, but I like to see him step out of bounds too after the fact.
Evaded the first tackle, moved up inside, and then got it to the outside. That's Asen Hansen in a nutshell this season. Now he's looking to pass. Will swing it out to the right side, setting up the screen for Chase Pitts. He breaks the tackle, and he's out of bounds right near the first down marker.
There was a speed. You saw it there in a little bit of a burst.
Yeah, it's not just speed, but the acceleration to get going quickly as well, which helps out on screen plays like that. I'm going to call it a 6-yard pickup before he stepped out, so it'll be 2nd and 4. 8:13 to go here in the first quarter, brought to you by Valor Physical Therapy in Choctaw. Jones on the Lindsay side of the field trying to be the first to score. Hansen will try to pass again. No, now he'll run it on a QB draw up the middle. Now he'll just dive down after picking up the first down. Trying to play it safe a little bit here early in the playoffs.
Yep, and we're seeing a lot of fight from this line right now. And I've talked about it before, but so much of the high school football fight is in the trenches. And to see our line open it up for Asen is great to see early. So hopefully they've got the stamina to stay in there and keep fighting.
That's a really young offensive line, but they've been able to do really well here towards the second half of the regular season and now early in the playoffs. Cale Clark will get the screen this time. He's got some room. He's across the 20 and shoved out of bounds near the 15.
You know, there's something about Cale Clark. He runs hard no matter what. Blocking. He's going to go as hard as he can. So it's great to see him see success there. And honestly, I feel like he's almost a little bit of an unsung hero at times on this team. And he's another piece that's going to be huge going into playoffs to see him be productive.
Last week, they were in a 3rd and 45 situation. Hansen threw it up to Cal Clark. He brought it down for a first down conversion. Empty backfield again. Hansen looking to throw to the left side. Has Creighton Jones up the sideline across the 10. Trying to break tackles. Reaching for the pylon. And they're going to call him out right at the 1.
Ooh.
Referee right there and adamant calls it down at the 1. But a nice play for Jones to pick up the 1st and goal right at the goal line. Jones has been almost unstoppable in these situations this season.
Knock on wood.
That's the playoffs.
Knock on wood. You can't say that one out loud.
Tougher competition. Coda
It's
Harris.
out the kicker from the press box. Same thing like that.
Coda Harris will be the running back. He's at the left hip of Hansen. Now he'll go in motion and make it an empty backfield. Hansen will try to take it himself. Tries to get outside. Breaks a tackle. Dives. And he's in for the touchdown. Jones strikes first in the playoffs.
Those are the ones that make me really nervous with Dason. What about you?
He dove his head right in there trying to
my
reach for the
goodness.
goal line. And he did his job, got the touchdown.
He did it. Making sure I don't see any green jerseys on the ground down there.
So after the defense held strong and forced a turnover of downs on 4th and inches, the offense does their job. Some nice screen passes and then an Asen Hansen touchdown run. Makes it 6-0, and Colson Lindsay will try to add on the extra point. Up and good. 7-0 Jones. They strike first. 7:29 to go in the first. We'll be back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
And Asen Hansen scrambled to start the drive. Screen passes to Pitts, Clark, and Jones. And then an Asen Hansen 1-yard touchdown run puts Jones on top 7-0 here early in the first quarter of the first round of the playoffs. That scoring recap brought to you by Jones Nutrition. The kick is fielded around the 10, and a big hit laid by Cale Clark down at the 20 is Crew Flood. So Clark had that screen pass, and now he's showing up on special teams. And as I mentioned, the scoring recap was brought to you by Jones Nutrition. They bring you the best smoothies and energizing drinks in town, and they're proud supporters of Jones Athletics. You can find them at 9244 Hiwassee Suite 400, and check them out on social media, or just stop in and say hi. So the return ends up at the 22. That's where Lindsay will start their second drive. Had some success with the run in that last drive, but not when it counted on the 4th and inches. They couldn't get any push. Jones pushed back. Cameron, the quarterback. Flood, his running back. Cameron will roll out left immediately. Looking downfield now, he'll just take off as a runner, and he will be dropped down at the 30, picks up 8 yards.
Jones is in a great spot here because they've scored first. So if they lose time here on the clock because of course, Lindsay picking their own game, they're winning that matchup. So that score there changes a lot of things here for Jones and takes an immense amount of pressure off of them.
Great crowd here at Tim Wallace Memorial Stadium. Both sides have showed up for this one. Hand off to Flood, trying to break it outside. Breaks another tackle. He's going to pick up the first down before being brought down from behind by Luke DeBusk. He got met in the backfield but was able to evade a couple of tacklers and pick up the first down. Crew Flood, just a freshman, but he's showing off the athleticism early in this game for Lindsay.
I think that's one thing there for Lindsay is there's quite a few young kids playing. So down the road, Lindsay's going to see success too if they're having good playoff teams going in.
Another run for Flood that time. Picks up a couple, trying to get to the outside. Jones rallied to the football that time. Called a gain of 3 for a 2nd and 7. No passes yet for the Leopards offense. But they got a lot of athletes. You can tell Cameron, the quarterback, is plenty athletic and a good runner himself.
And they've had great teams in the past. I think the last time Jones played them was deep in the playoffs, maybe a semis in like 2013 or so.
Cameron will pass this time in the middle of the field, and it is deflected by Luke DeBusk. Got his hand in there to knock it up in the air for an incompletion. It'll be 3rd and 7.
There's one of our pass attempts we were talking about. There's one of them, and it almost was a turnover. So we'll see what they select to do here throughout the rest of this game.
3rd and 7 here. We'll see if they try to go with a pass again in a 3rd and long, or if they trust their run to be able to pick up big yardage. Cameron trying to get a jump, didn't get it that time.
You know what's so interesting is not only are they taking time off going with the run game, but the process of getting a play in.
Cameron will pitch it out on the option, and it's Flood trying to pick up yardage, but he'll be dropped at the 40. Jet Bibby comes in from safety. Derek Templeton there as well to help clean it up. So the DB is getting involved playing the run. That's important when you're facing a team that's not going to pass much.
You know, and what's really tough, as I was saying, you know, the process of getting a play in, quarterbacks moving the line and things like that. When you make those adjustments as a defensive front, it's hard to stay focused for that long. It's hard not to jump, but also it's hard to stay locked in on the football when that ball is snapped.
So it looks like punts here for Lindsay. And it will be booted away by the quarterback, Cameron, also doing the punting. Fair caught by Drew Thomas at the 25. That's where Jones will start this drive. The Longhorns scored first with a nice drive using a lot of screens, which is really what their offense has become known for through the passing game in this latter part of the season. But you're always worried about that deep ball as well with a guy like Chase Pitts.
Yep, and I love to see the screen passes because I think it lets people see just how versatile and how many strong individual players Jones has. Every player that they're using in these plays has the ability to make a juke or use their speed in a way that's deceptive to beat the defensive players.
So it looks like there was a penalty on the punt against Jones. So now they'll start from the 15. So likely a hold there as they moved it back 10 yards from the 25.
Man, those are some things that Coach Witt probably isn't going to be real happy about.
Lindsay takes a timeout. We'll take it with him. 5:02 to go in the first quarter. Jones with a 7-0 lead and the ball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Zach Reynolds, Tessa Durrell with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jones will start their second drive on offense from the 15 after a punt and a penalty against Jones on that punt. Hanson will turn and hand off. No, he fakes the handoff to Harris on the option, trying to get to the outside. A flag on the play. Hanson has the edge. He'll pick up the first down momentarily, but we'll check the flag. Going to be a hold on Jones, so they'll bank up some more.
I'm going to say something I may not supposed to be, but it's fun to hear the other coaches get upset when Asen makes so many great runs. It's an interesting viewpoint that I've not really been around before, since I'm usually on the sideline.
Incredible at evading tackles and breaking tackles as well. I mean, obviously the athleticism to make the moves, but, he's not going to go down with just an arm tackle either. He's got some strength on him.
And that's so interesting from a quarterback especially. He's not scared. It scares us, but he's not afraid, and it's just a different look than you see from quarterbacks a lot of times.
So after the holding penalty on first down, it'll be 1st and 18 for the Longhorns. Hand off to Dakota Harris, trying to get to the outside. He'll pull over a defender. He's across the 15. Nice pickup that time from Harris, and doing something we don't see a ton. He got towards the outside a little bit. Usually an up-the-gut kind of runner. That time broke it out up the left side.
You know, we haven't seen a lot here as far as our running back game, so it's interesting to me because I feel like that's usually what we start to develop first and then the pass game, so interesting approach here as opposed to what we've seen before.
Harris was able to pick up 10 yards to make it 2nd and 8 from the 17. Harris now will go in motion. Hansen will sling it out. Harris trying to throw a block. It's Chase Pitts with it and showing off that acceleration. Picks up the first down. Harris got just enough of the defender. It was 1-on-1 out there, and when Harris goes out, makes it 2-on-1, you're going to win that matchup most times.
Yep.
So Jones picks up the first down after being backed up by a couple of penalties. They're across the 20, up near the 25 now. Actually, across the 25.
You know, that'd be interesting to see where they'd be at even without those penalties. If they clean that up, I think they've scored twice by now.
Hansen keeps this one, trying to evade defenders. He will be brought down. In there for Lindsay was Gus Torres. He's listed at 6'3", 250, big guy on that defensive line. And Hansen could not evade his bear hug. So a rare tackle for loss against Asen Hansen that time. Torres just able to blow up that play. Going to be an empty backfield here for the Longhorns on 2nd down. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Hansen fires the slant in the middle of the field. That's Hunter Purvis. Picks up a few yards. He's across the 30.
You know, that pass there always makes me a little bit nervous in the center of play just because that's where most of your defenders are. But he threaded the needle on that one, and it's a great pass by Asen.
Purvis, another one of those young guys that contributes for the Longhorns as a receiver. He's just a sophomore himself. Third and 4 here for the Longhorns. 2:35 to go in the first quarter, brought to you by Valor. Hansen looking to pass. Throws this one up, looking for Creighton Jones, and it's just out of his reach. Jones had a step on his defenders, but couldn't link up on it.
Ooh, they're sending Asen off.
Yeah, the referee looked to have a word with him, and not a calm one.
Yeah.
It'll be 4th and 4, though, so Jones likely will punt this one away.
Sending Asen off with some words there. I'm curious what that was. If only we had a sideline reporter down there with a microphone listening in on everything.
But Jones gets a jump here. They get an offside, so they're going to pick up the first down.
Man.
It was only 4th and 4, so the 5 yards moves the chains. Don't see that on punts very often.
Nope, and you know what? If there's one thing about that's going on both sides of the ball right now is there's a lot of penalties. In either team, if this continues on in their playoff path, whoever wins here tonight, that can't happen if you want to keep going. So hopefully tonight for whoever wins, they're getting all those out of their system because it's going to be a rough go if this continues to happen.
Jones with a couple of holds and some pre-snap stuff. And Lindsay, both of their penalties have been pre-snap. Once a false start and then they're jumping all sides.
You know, and those are focus issues, which I always feel like are coachable instances and make it a little bit, you know, you can tell your kids to lock in through conditioning and things like that, but behavioral ones like after the snap that we've seen by Jones tonight, those are the ones that are a little more frustrating.
Lindsay, another one of those teams that has a fair amount of guys that play both sides. Their starting quarterback, Isaac Cameron, he's lined up as a cornerback at the bottom of your screen. Hansen's going to hand this one off to Luke DeBusk up the gut, and he will be dragged down. He's up the logo, picks up a nice bit of yardage.
You know, and we talked about this a little bit before the game, too, is just big school ball versus small school football. There's usually a lot of kids that go both ways, and Jones has some as well, but having your quarterback go both ways, that's a definite disadvantage.
Cameron lined up against Creighton Jones here at the bottom of the screen. 7-yard pickup from DeBusk on that first down run makes it 2nd and 3 from the 46, 1:40 to go in the first quarter. DeBusk in motion. Hansen will take it himself up the middle. He's got the first down and shoestring tackle. Saves some yardage for Lindsay, but not before Hansen moves the sticks. It was Eli Curry in on the stop.
And there's only a minute and a half left here in this quarter. Time's gone fast.
A lot of runs for both teams, and Jones, even when they are passing, it's that screen game where, you're likely to get the completions and keep the clock rolling. Down to a minute 15 to go in the quarter. And Jones with a 7-0 lead and trying to drive and pick up more. They're into Lindsay territory at the 49. Hansen will hand off. Breaking the first tackle is DeBusk, but then he's dropped pretty quickly after. Picked up a yard or two. But better defense that time.
Coda Harris coming in now for DeBusk.
They've been able to really work the running backs in and out a lot to help keep them fresh, and that's what they've been doing with Harris and DeBusk, who are similar runners, but just keeping each other fresh helps out a lot.
Run tough.
Harris in motion to the left side. Hansen will throw it that way for Creighton Jones. Another screen coming, and Jones will step out of bounds at the 43 or make it 3rd down.
Man, we talked about it earlier, not being able to see the numbers. It doesn't help either when those jerseys are rolled up like they have down there.
It'll be 3rd and 5 here. And he stepped out of bounds. That stopped the clock at 20 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And it's good to see Cale Clark's back out there. So he went down on the sideline over here, so it's good to see that he's back in the game.
Empty backfield for Hansen, scanning the defense. Pre-snap, now he'll take it. Tries to evade pressure, rolls out to the right, fires, has a guy, and is going to pick up the first down. And I believe that is Cale Clark over there.
It was Cale Clark. I saw those numbers. I knew those ones.
So Cale Clark has really evolved a lot throughout this season. He started the season as just a running back, your inline running back, normal running back. He's moved to more of a slat type that was just running the football on sweeps. Now he's getting involved as a regular type receiver. And nice to see that development from him over the season, especially the last couple of games. That'll do it for the first quarter. Jones with the lead on top, 7-0, and looking to add on more in Lindsay territory when we come back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Bank First is uniquely Oklahoman, deeply rooted in over 50 communities statewide. From those roots, our investment in education springs forth, helping to raise the Oklahoma leaders of tomorrow while providing financial strength to the business leaders of today. That's the kind of loyalty that helps entire communities thrive. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Start of the second quarter here in Jones, Oklahoma at Tim Wallace Memorial Stadium. The second quarter is brought to you by Bank First. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma and loyal to you, member FDIC. Bank First of Jones. And Jones will have the football with a 1st and 10 to start the second quarter, brought to you by Bank First of Jones. They're into Lindsay territory at the 36-yard line.
Looks like they just maybe had a moment for those who have served in the military, which was... That's nice. I haven't seen that before, so that's nice. Must be for Veterans Day this past week.
So Coda Harris, the running back, behind Asen Hansen here. Hansen fakes the handoff, looking to throw it downfield. Nothing there. He'll roll out right, still looking to pass. Now he'll just throw it away. Smart decision there. We're going to have a late flag. Flag out after Hansen got rid of the football. We'll have to see what it is.
Yeah, and you never know there because as he's scrambling and taking more time, that could turn into a hold, or it could have been something closer to the sideline on this side. But, they waved it.
They're going to wave it off. I think maybe they threw a flag for intentional grounding, talked about it, and realized that he was out of the tackle box and just picked it up, something like that perhaps. But they pick up the flag nonetheless. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And that's something that's changed with the OSSAA this past year is there's more rules protecting the quarterback, so less intentional grounding calls. And, they're young kids. I think that's a good thing.
So 2nd and 10 for the Longhorns. 3 receivers to the left side of the formation. Riley Ellison alone at the bottom of your screen on the right side. Hansen looking to throw. Now he'll step up away from pressure. Airs this one out down the field. Has a man open, and it is caught. Did he get his feet in bounds?
Sure looked like it. They're signaling for it.
It's going to be a touchdown Jones. Throwing the run from Mason Hansen and big-time arm talent.
There's that deep ball we were asking for, huh?
We'll throw all these short screens like that, and then you take the top off the defense, and it worked out for the Longhorns. And they score again. Now their lead up to 13-0.
That's going on someone's highlights right there.
I mean, it's just quarterback. It's exactly what you want to see out of a quarterback. Steps up away from pressure, rolls out to the right, throws on the run, and delivers it right on the money to his receiver who broke open. So Colson Lindsay on, trying to add on another extra point. And it is true. 14-0 Jones, 11:39 to go in the second quarter. Trying to roll here and get a win in the first round of the playoffs on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Mason Hansen with a long touchdown pass on the run to make it 14-0 Jones. That scoring recap brought to you by Jones Nutrition, who bring you the best smoothies and energizing drinks in town, and they're proud supporters of Jones Athletics at 9244 Hiwassee Suite 400. Onside kick for Jones, but it's going to be received by Maverick Dotson of the Leopards. He was able to get on it and get down, but Jones with kind of a squib kick that time, trying to catch him off guard. They did that last week against Blackwell and actually got the ball back.
I wasn't there for that fun road trip that you got to take, Zach.
That was a part of that long 40-minute-long first quarter. They scored their first touchdown, and on the kickoff, did just that, got the ball back, and scored again.
Man, I saw it, and it was 21-0 before the first quarter was over, and I knew I was feeling for you. I was feeling bad for you, Zach.
So the Leopards back out on offense, led by Isaac Cameron. He'll hand this one off to Crew Flood, and he is dropped immediately. Flying in for the tackle was Caleb Chappell. TFL for him.
I always like to see Caleb Chappell do well. I've told you, his brother graduated in my class in polar opposites. Never met two people so separate. So I love seeing Caleb do good things here.
Chappell plays that nose tackle position and is really explosive. A lot of tackles for loss for him. So it sets the drive back to 2nd and 12.
He's also a fired-up player. He stays pretty amped up for the games, so it's neat to see him do well.
Another handoff for Flood. Has some room this time. Dropped down just before the 40-yard line. Number of Longhorns in on the tackle, including Sturdivant and DeBusk.
And Cranford in 5.
That's a sign of really good team defense when you've got, 3 or 4 guys every time running to the football to tackle.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting there fast. They're not getting lost in too much here at the line, so that's always good. That's always a good sign.
3rd and 8 here for the Leopards. Cameron will try to roll out, tries to pass this one, but the pressure made him throw it before he wanted to. Nobody was really in the area And that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, he really had 2 Longhorns on him fast there, and I'd probably do the same thing.
Better to get rid of the ball than take the sack.
Yep.
So now Cameron will stay out there and likely punt this one away. On 4th and 8, 10:22 to go in the second quarter, brought to you by Bank First of Jones. And Drew Thomas back there to be the returner again. Has done some good things as a punt returner this season. Always got to be careful, though, when the quarterback's also the punter. You never know. They might just throw it.
Yep, that's what I was thinking earlier. You never know what they have up their sleeve now.
And it will be punted away, almost blocked by Chappell, but he got it off. That's a really good punt. Now it will roll and into the end zone for a touchback. Still a decent punt for Lindsay, but that was almost an exceptional punt.
Yes, a bad spot for Jones. It looked like the bounce, the way it hit the bounce, gave it some momentum. But, man, there wasn't a ton of spin on that coming out, so that always slows down the roll a bit. But the way it hit the ground, it changed it up a little bit.
Typically, punters don't like to see touchbacks, but nonetheless, in this situation, it still flips the field pretty well. So Lindsay, I'm sure, happy with that. And now Jones back out on offense.
And he's staying busy in other aspects. If his punts aren't perfect, I think it's respected. He's going both ways, and he's got a lot of responsibilities on this team.
14-0 Jones, and they'll look to add on here in their 4th drive of the game. They've scored on 2 of their first 3. Handoff to Harris up the middle. Nice room for him, and he's up to the 25, make it the 26. Offensive line really doing a good job of giving Harris a hold to where he's not even getting touched until he's at least 3 yards up the field.
Last game talking to Coach Witt, he works very close with the O-line and had before becoming the head coach, but holding penalties are something that aren't great. It shoots your team in the foot, but also it's something that he really capitalizes on. So if they can keep playing a clean game there at the line, I know Coach Witt will be happy with that, but it really sets your offense up for success too.
Harris still in the backfield. Hansen will give it to him again, and he's got the first down on this run. Harris moved it up the right side that time, and now he'll step out. DeBusk will step in again, trying to keep each of those guys fresh. They've each had some good runs already in this game.
Yep. I love seeing how spread this offense is and the constant rotation of personnel coming in. There's always a rotation, and that's a great spot to be in playoffs because you never know what injuries can come up. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen to Jones, but it keeps the bench stays deep, but also you open up a lot of opportunities for different things you can do. 9
minutes now to go in the second quarter. Hansen, a handoff to Luke DeBusk up the left side. He'll cut it back up the middle a little bit. He's up to the 40-yard line. Call it the 41, so he picks up 5 or 6 yards on first down as well.
They're keeping it moving, and they're not being too slow about it. So, only 8 minutes and about 40 seconds here. Jones is in a good spot.
Both teams starting to run the ball quite a bit here. Obviously, the whole game has been that way for Lindsay, but they're, like you mentioned earlier, going at a little bit slower pace, setting up the runs. Jones, obviously, we've come to know, likes to have a fast-paced offense.
Yep. And that keeps teams on their toes, too. So
empty backfield for Asen Hansen. Ellefson in that inline tight end spot. Hansen will look to run it himself. Tries to break it outside, and he's going to drag a defender across for the first down. He was met a few yards shy of the first down by Melvin McDonald, but then he was able to drag him and move the chains. Tough run that time from Hansen.
He keeps his feet moving, and that's something I've always talked about with my dad when they have great running backs is if you keep your feet pushing and pedaling, you're going to keep it moving because, until you're down, until they get you all the way down, you still have the opportunity to keep the ball rolling.
DeBusk, the running back, at the right hip of Hansen this time around. 3 receivers to the left, just 1 to the right at the bottom of your screen. That's Mason Templeton. Hansen, fake the throw. Now he'll run it on the QB draw. He's got a lot of room. He's got the first down already. Now breaks to the outside. He's at the 30, at the 20. One man's a beat, and he is pushed out of bounds just shy of the 10. But a big-time pickup for Mason Hansen.
A nasty stiff arm he had there at the end, too. Looking like Baker out there. That was crazy.
And Hansen, again, just his ability, he runs up the middle a little bit. If it's not there, he can break it to the outside. Really patient runner with really good vision. Of course, as a quarterback, you expect somebody that plays QB to have good vision, trying to find the receivers open, but he uses it in the run game as well. So now the Longhorns in the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 12. DeBusk still the running back. Hansen will check something at the line. 5 seconds on the play clock. Hansen will hand off to DeBusk. He's untouched up the middle. What a job by the offensive line. DeBusk a score.
He wasn't met by much competition there going through the end zone. So, man, this offense is on a roll.
Luke DeBusk, 10th touchdown run of the year, the first here in the playoffs. And, again, give big credit to the O-line that time.
You know, and as different people score here, it takes so much pressure off going into the rest of the playoffs because, like I said, there is a bit of nerves in playoffs. Knowing that when you lose, you're done, that's a lot of weight to that. That carries a lot of weight, especially for these players that are older and seniors. So it's good to see different people score because I think with each different person you're getting involved, you take away some of that pressure.
Colson Lindsay knocks through another extra point. Jones on top, 21-0 with 7:18 to go in the second quarter. Come back with us on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
You're watching Jones Longhorns playoff football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. This one's fielded by Will Lawrence, and he muffed it at first, but was able to pick it up and get back to the 25. The Longhorns on top 21-0. That last drive, all runs. Asen Hansen, a big-time run to get them across midfield all the way down to the 12-yard line. And then Luke DeBusk, a 12-yard touchdown run with a big hole, basically untouched, to the end zone. That's your scoring recap brought to you by Jones Nutrition, who bring you the best smoothies and energizing drinks in town. And they're proud supporters of Jones Athletics. You can find them at 9244 Hiawassee Suite 400.
Love Jones Nutrition.
So with 7:12 to go in the second quarter, brought to you by Bank First. Isaac Cameron and the Lindsay Leopards back on offense. Empty backfield for him here. He'll look to pass, and that one's connected to Will Lawrence. He's tackled immediately, but they get across the 30 with that pickup. Derek Templeton in coverage that time. So the first completed throw for the Leopards in this game picks up 6 yards to make it 2nd and 4.
You know, and that's what's so tough is I think when you move, I don't want to say they move slow, but when you move this slow and methodical on your offensive side, I think that takes away a lot of opportunities to develop a momentum like Jones has where they're getting plays in quick, keeping it moving. I think that's really hurt Lindsay's offense.
Play action here. He'll throw again, and it's going to be incomplete. Pass intended for Dutton Taylor. And, you know, now down. It's still the first half, still 7 minutes to go in the first half. But they're down 21-0, as you mentioned, Jones with some momentum on offense. Now it might feel like they have to pass the ball a little bit more to try to get back into this game quickly, even though that's not something that their offense is as comfortable with. That'll be interesting to watch here if there is a passing element to the game for them, if they have to be forced to throw it more.
You know, and there comes a point where you try it. You just go for it because you're down by a certain point. So we'll see if that happens too. Rolling
out to the right again as Cameron breaks the tackle, and he's going to be right near the first down marker and takes a tumble out of bounds. We'll see if he was able to reach out and pick up the first down.
Almost took down a coach too. The marker and a coach almost went down.
That was a pass, I believe, rolling out right, a designed pass, but then he just saw the edge and used his speed to get to it, and he did pick up a first down for the Leopards. So Isaac Cameron using that athleticism to help out his team. Something that Jones knows well with Asen Hansen as their quarterback. Empty backfield here, 2 receivers stacked to each side of the formation. Cameron looking to pass. Will have to step up away from pressure, and down he goes.
Man, they're taking away. Jones is doing a great job of taking away any opportunity that's presented to Lindsay here, and they just don't have a lot of wiggle room on their offense.
Going to lose one on that play, and it's going to be a sack for Riley Ellison, who's been getting one seemingly every game since he's moved to the defensive side of the football as well as playing tight end.
You know, and as a quarterback, there's a psychological aspect, too, where, you know, you're getting sacked and then you got to go play defense and then you got to punt. And you have so many responsibilities you're doing. He's spread pretty thin, so this is going to start to wreak havoc on his game.
They go back to the run game here with Flood, and he gets across the 40 before being dropped down by the secondary of the Longhorns. They'll bring up 3rd and 4 here. So they went pass, and then that time was able to get some yardage with the run. Now the playbook kind of open for him here on 3rd and 4. We'll see what Lindsay opts to go with. 5:50 to go in the second quarter. Looks like a run formation. They're tied up on the line. Lawrence on the option will pitch it to the outside. Not much room. Ball maybe popped out here. We'll see who comes up with it.
Jones' sideline's awful sure that they've got the ball, but
Lindsay keeps the football, but nowhere near the first down marker. They lose yardage, so it'll be 4th down. So Cameron will look to punt again here. It'll be 4th and 5. 4th and 5. Lost a yard on the play. Clock continues to tick down to 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Thomas back to return for the Longhorns. This one a shorter kick, kind of a sky kick. Cameron Thomas will let it bounce, and it takes a Lindsay roll all the way down to the 12-yard line. So not a good kick in the air, but the roll did wonders for the Lindsay Leopards. Jones will start this drive from the 12.
not a bad spot, and especially when it comes to time. You know, there's only 4 minutes and 45 seconds here, so I think you try to get rid of those as much as you can to give your team a break.
See what Jones can do here. With you mentioned 4:45 left to go. We know that they can move down the field in a hurry, usually. They've done that a couple of times here in this game. Anson back out there. Run for a touchdown and thrown for a couple of touchdowns in this game. Or thrown for one, and ran for one. This time he'll hand it off to the running back up the middle. That's Coda Harris. Bounces off a tackle, still going. It's now dragging a whole group of defenders across for the first down. There's 4 or 5 guys in there for Lindsay.
4, 5, 6 that I'm counting in white jerseys, and I may be wrong, but, man, once again, keeps those feet moving. I mean, he's going to keep going until he's all the way down, and that's something that's so impressive. There's a lot of fight in the run game on Jones's side.
And I'm always impressed by the speed from Coda Harris. You know, a kid at that size, he's got some wheels on him too. So picks up the first down, up to the 26-yard line. Hand it off to him again. He's got good room. Another first down for Coda Harris, spinning away from tackles. Back-to-back first down runs for Coda.
A little injury update. We have Creighton Jones down over here getting looked at. Not sure what for, but just for anyone noticing his absence out on the field, that's why.
Important part of this receiving game. We'll see if he can get back out there. Four minutes now to go in the second quarter. Ellison will shift across the formation. Hanson hands off to Luke DeBusk, who just checked in. Tries the left side. He's going to pick up 3 or 4 yards. I'll make it 5 or 6 with an extra effort at the end. I like Harris, keeps those legs moving, does not go down easy.
Yep, exactly. And that's the thing is there's so much fight on this offense. I said that just a second ago, but they're not stopping and they're not quitting. And Ason's like that, and every other running back, every receiver. There's a lot of fight in this offense that changes the game completely for them.
Last 2 drives, it's been almost exclusively runs for the Longhorns. Eating up some clock here, but they are getting some good yardage as well. Another handoff for DeBusk. Up the left side now with good room. Breaks the tackle, and he's across the 40. Finally brought down by Eli Curry. That's another one where he didn't get touched until he was about 6 yards downfield. And maybe because of that, I see a flag on the field. So we'll see if this one's called back. And it is. It's going to be a hold on Jones.
Man, they had done so well. I jinxed them. That's on me. I'll take that. I'll take that flag.
Had a couple early in this game and had been clean since then. And now another hold there. We'll bring this one back.
You know, and one thing about DeBusk and then Coda Harris, their stature, their size too. And as you get these bigger players, because they possess speed, but they're also a great size, and that makes them such a great running back when they get momentum especially. And I think that's part of why they're so difficult to tackle there at the end, because they've reached a high point of momentum, so it becomes that much more difficult to bring them down.
DeBusk listed at 225, Harris listed at 235. And good speed with even all that muscle. DeBusk still the running back, a fake to him. Hansen fires to Pitts, and it's in and out of his hands. Throw a little bit behind him. Trying on kind of a deep slant that time to Pitts. Couldn't hook up. It'll be second and 13.
Looks like we're bringing in Kel Clark here, too, into the mix, taking out Cruz Cranford.
Cranford's been playing a lot on offense recently as well, but he is usually in more of a tight end role in a blocking situation. Has rushed for a couple touchdowns as well this season. The referee's going to talk something over here. They're going to have the play clock reset up to 25 seconds. So it'll be 3rd and 13 from the 38s for the Longhorns here. Two receivers to each side. Hansen looking to throw. Looks to air this one out. Chase Pitts ahead of the pack.
Man.
He tracks it. He has it. Now he shows off the speed. Pitts, a touchdown.
Yeah, at that point, you're not catching Pitts on that side. And when he's on the end zone side of a defender, I can promise you he's probably not getting caught.
For those of you that like to play college football 25, it's that classic slot fade.
Yeah.
Put your fastest guy out there, and he beat the defense that time. Chase Pitts with another long touchdown.
I was just thinking that. You know, I feel like we have quite the array of NCAA going on here as far as our Jones's options on offense.
That makes it 27-0 here. 2:25 to go in the first half. Lindsay on for an extra point attempt. He's been perfect on those so far today. High snap. Jones gets it down, and Lindsay knocks it through. Longhorns up 28-0 with 2:25 to go in the second quarter. They're rolling on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Zach Reynolds, Tessa Durrell with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network, where the Longhorns lead 28-0 after a long touchdown pass to Chase Pitts. Lindsay, the kickoff, and it's a good one. It's going to be a fight for the football.
It's going to be a shot.
It's still getting knocked away. We'll see who has it, and it is recovered by Lindsay. But a couple of tough kickoffs from Colson Lindsay to the Lindsay Leopards. And they'll start their drive with 2:19 to go in the second quarter. As I mentioned, Chase Pitts is a long touchdown catch on that kind of slot fade using the speed. And that scoring recap brought to you by Jones Nutrition, who bring you the best smoothies and energizing drinks in town. And they're proud supporters of Jones Athletics. Jones Athletics, proud supporters of them. And they're a 9244 Hiawassee Suite 400.
Or by the gym.
And it's Tessa Durrell certified.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Anytime I'm in Jones, it's there and then the gym.
So Isaac Cameron will look to run here, and he is going to be hit immediately a QB draw type play there, and 3 or 4 Longhorns in there to get the stop. First on the scene, looks like that is Mason Templeton coming in from that outside linebacker spot.
You know, best case scenario right now is if you're Lindsay, you're just getting out of this half, because we've said before how many kids they've got going 2 ways, which is the case a lot of times in 2-way football, but there's a mental exhaustion that you can see coming to the forefront of their game right now on offense.
Minute 45 to go in the half, and Ellison jumps off sides. That'll be a free 5 yards for the Leopards. Let's stop the clock. Lindsay known for their rushing attack, and they've had a couple of pretty good runs, but they've not been able to get anything consistent going so far with how tough Jones' defense is. Now they might be forced to pass the ball a little bit more, down 28. Still a whole half of football left to play, and a minute 35 in this half. Cameron trying to get another jump that time. Didn't get it, so he'll reset at the line. 2 running backs, 1 on each hip. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Able to pick up a few yards, and they're right near that first down marker, and they will move the chains. But the clock continues to tick.
You know, we talked about it earlier, kind of guessing that they'd move towards more of a passing game, and you almost feel like it's a bit of a disservice to their quarterback at this point, going both ways, punting, so many responsibilities, and then now there's a lot more pressure on you to improve your game passing-wise.
That same formation with both the running backs. It's going to be handoff for Dutton Taylor, trying to bring it out wide to the outside, and he'll be drove out of bounds. Big hit laid by Luke DeBusk. Good pursuit to the edge that time. A couple yards picked up for Taylor, but not much more. Something you look for in a good middle linebacker is that sideline-to-sideline ability and speed, and DeBusk certainly has that. Full head of steam that time on the tackle.
You know, it's interesting, too, because you want size and stature on your team, but you also need speed. And I feel like the defense has found a really good balance of that for Jones, and also on offense. So that never hurts to have size and speed.
Be a run this time from the quarterback. Cameron, he's going to take a shot, stays on his feet, and is drugged down across the 40. Sturdivant in, really got into him, but Cameron was able to stay up for a second. Clock now down to 35 seconds in this first half.
Sturdivant had him a nice little interview today on News 9 with Jordan Ryan. It was really neat.
Just one running back now in the backfield, and that's Dutton Taylor. Cameron fakes the handoff, looking to pass, pump fakes, now throws it, and it is incomplete, intended for Tough Fott. What a name that is, by the way. And
Tough?
That's where I'm going. What T-U-G-H?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm a T-name family. We're all T-names. Tough was not one on the list, but it's interesting to see. Different T-name I haven't heard of.
So the clock stops on the incompletion. 17 seconds to go in the second quarter, and it's 4th and 3, so a decision has to be made by Lindsay, and they took a while on it, and now they will bring out the punting unit. There's only 8 seconds on the play clock. Not a ton of urgency here.
Which is interesting. You'd think there would be a little bit to get into the half, so.
They take the delay of game. They'll back it up here and then punt it. They'll back it up 5 more yards. Took a while to make that decision on whether they wanted to go for it or punt it, and ended up deciding to punt with about 11 seconds left on that play clock. No returner back for Jones, so they are going to play this one safe just in case of a fake with only 17 seconds left. Cameron will look to boot this one away, and he just gets it off. Another sky kick type. It'll bounce at the 40 and roll a little bit to about the 33 before it will be downed by Lindsay.
And it's Tug. It's Tug. I heard the coaches over here. That's the nice thing about being next to these coaches is his name is Tug.
Still a cool name.
Still a cool name. T-name. Haven't heard it. It's crazy.
So with the punt down, there's 4 seconds on the clock for Jones. They're up 28-0. You could just see a kneel down here. You also could see a shot play. We'll see what they decide to do.
And they've still got, there's a leopard down, and that's Tug. Tug Fott's down right now getting looked at.
We'll step away momentarily and hopefully come back with good news about that on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Tug Font able to walk off the field under his own power with a little bit of a limp, but walking on his own is a good sign, so glad to see that he should be okay. 4 seconds left in the quarter and the half. It looks like Jones will need this one and send it to halftime. A good first half for him. They lead 28-0 at halftime. The defense doing their job against the run, and the run and pass game both working for the Longhorns on offense.
Yeah, and that's such a great thing to see. As I said, it's all about versatility. It's in the trenches, but it's about versatility. And the offensive line has played a great game to where there are options on offense. The run game's open, but there's also a passing game because Asen has time to develop the passing game thanks to the offensive line. So really a great half by Jones, and Lindsay's got a lot to come back from here. And I think there's a mental exhaustion that they're dealing with on their behalf too. So we'll see what it looks like after they get a little bit of a break.
Round one of the playoffs, and Jones looking to move on. Right now they've got a good start through one half. It's 28-0 Longhorns. We'll step aside and be back with the second half on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery. Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Welcome back on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Just a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half. That'll be the third quarter, brought to you by Dave's Driving School. They work on the skills needed to pass the state driving test, focusing on drivers' attitudes, defensive driving, drinking and driving, road rage, and cell phone use while driving. They provide the basics of safe driving at 2025 South Air Depot in Midwest City, or you can call them by phone at 405-229-2302. Now, we're in the playoffs, and there's a number of Jones schools. Almost all of the Jones schools in the network are in the playoffs right now, so you can keep up to date with all those schools, including, obviously, the Longhorns. We will have them on the Oklahoma Sports Network as long as they keep going through the playoffs. You can find us on Apple and Android app stores. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, or Apple TV. It's free to download, free to watch. You just search for the Oklahoma Sports Network. You can find it there, or go to oksportsnet.com. And on that website, oksportsnet.com, you can also vote each week on a weekly poll for the OSN Player of the Week. And that just features 3 of the best players from Oklahoma high school football that week, not just in the network, just the whole state in general. The 3 best performances picked down. You can vote on who you want to be the OSN Player of the Week. Seen a couple of Longhorns featured in those polls throughout the season. Carlos Hardiman and Asen Hansen both partook and were participants in that poll earlier this season. You can also follow us on social media. Everywhere that you live on social media, whether it's YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere and everywhere, you can find the Oklahoma Sports Network and stay up to date on all things Oklahoma high school sports. Getting towards the end of football season, still the playoffs, and that'll run through the first week of December or so. And then it'll be basketball after that, and then by the time we get to springtime, baseball and things like that, never a shortage of things to watch on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Going to take a quick break and be back with the start of the second half on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Zach Reynolds and Tessa Durrell with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network for Jones High School football and its playoffs action, the first round against Lindsay. And they had a really good first half, did the Longhorns. They're up 28-0, but still a whole half to play. Anything can happen in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Jones put themselves in a great spot. And the nice thing about a half like that is you go into halftime with a lot of ease. There's not a lot of pressure. So we'll see what Lindsay puts together here in the second half. But right now, Jones is sitting pretty.
And the Longhorns will receive the second half kickoff here after they kicked it away to start the game. So a chance to add to that big lead already right away as the second half gets started. Against the third quarter, brought to you by Dave's Driving School. Chase Pitts and Cale Clark back as the returners for the Longhorns. And it is Will Lawrence set to kick this off.
I even used Dave's Driving School. Fun fact, Zach.
Did they teach you the right things? Cale Clark on the return up to the 40 and will be brought down there by Crew Flood, but nice return from Cale Clark.
Man, there's a little, it's getting a little chippy down there, Zach. But, back to Dave's Driving School, I think I'm a good driver. I got a higher score on my driving test than my twin brother. Speaking of twins, both of us being twins.
I think I got a higher score than my sister, but I won't brag about that too much. It's okay.
That means we win. We're the winners. That's everything amounts to that right there.
So Asen Hansen and the offense back out there trying to add to the lead again. They're up 28-0 and really just trying to put this one away early if they can with another touchdown drive here. And they got good field position off that Cale Clark return up at the 41-yard line officially. Is where they'll start their second half drive.
Looks like they're coming out fast and strong right here, so that's all they can ask for. Maybe not as fast as I originally thought.
Well, the referees still here are trying to. They're going to switch the ball out. I think it might still be the
kicking ball.
The kicking ball.
Yep, they're getting it back to Lindsay. So.
And now we will start things off in the second half. Coda Harris is the running back. He's had some nice runs today. Hansen fakes a handoff to him, slings it out to Cale Clark. Has some blockers, trying to make a guy miss. Gets past him momentarily, picks up good yardage, but is eventually brought down out there by Dutton Taylor.
Just running hard. Cale Clark, we missed him for a couple of plays there in that first half. Not sure what was going on, but it looks like he's coming out ready to go, but maybe leaving the field coming to this other side of the field with a little bit of a limp still.
7 yards on first down. You'll take that each time. Clark still out there, lined up in the slot this time on the right side towards the bottom of your screen. Harris still the running back. Asen Hansen will hand it off to Harris. Spins away, trying to show paces and stiff arms the guy. Ends up picking up a couple of yards, and that could have been nothing. Instead, he gains, I'll call it one, but showing off a little spin move. Don't see that often from Coda Harris, and then the stiff arm as well.
It sure looks like this Lindsay defense is a little fed up with Coda Harris. A little bit chippier when they're tackling him as opposed to other people.
So 3rd and 1 after the 1 yard pickup here. Jones trying to convert the third down. See if they go back to Harris or try a pass. Cale Clark will come in motion. They'll hand off to him around the other way, trying to get to the outside. Now he'll break it back, coming back towards the near side, and he is going to be tackled for a loss, and we got flags coming in from literally every referee on the field with that end of the play.
And I'm not sure what that's going to be. What do you think?
It almost seemed like it would have had to have been on the hit, but I didn't see.
Yeah.
There's some players covering up where that hit was. I didn't see what it was like. But, I mean, literally all 5 flags get thrown in.
All of them.
I've never seen that before.
I was just going to say that was bizarre. I haven't seen that happen before. Of course, I haven't been up here a ton, so maybe I haven't seen it before because I haven't paid as close attention as I needed to.
See what the call is here. And it's going to be a hold on Jones.
You run the risk of that happening the longer you have someone moving there in the backfield. So not surprised that was the call, but, man, that's one that hurts you.
With the results of the play bringing up 4th down, Lindsay declines the penalty to keep it 4th down and 6 and force a Jones punt. So the Lindsay defense holds strong here to start the second half. Trayton Jones on to punt this one away. Nice kick. Will drop just up on the 25. It's going to take a Jones roll across the 10 all the way down to about the 5-yard line, and that's where Lindsay will have to take their drive. Nice punt from Trayton Jones.
That was interesting because it hit a Jones player. I don't know if you saw that. Bounced off his elbow there and then kept rolling backwards.
Well, it'll be marked if it were to hit the player, and I think that, it's going to be up at the 20, or the 21 rather. So Lindsay catches a break there. Instead of having to start the drive backed up to their own end zone, they'll get it at the 21.
Thinking about Jones here going into deeper playoff games, there's something to be counted for how many penalties you're getting and how many flags you're getting, especially that line. I know there's been a rotation at the line, and there's some young guys there, but they've got to get rid of those holding penalties if they want to keep this playoff path rolling.
Lawrence looking to pass down the field, and it is incomplete, intended for Melvin McDonald. Overthrew him a little bit, but we talked about it in the first half. This is a team in Lindsay that loves to run the football. That's what their identity is, but down 28-0, they tried to get some chunk yards on a pass that time. Cameron couldn't hook up with McDonald that time.
Looked like a good pass, though. Threw it well. Threw it far.
Well, I've been impressed with Isaac Cameron as a sophomore, just the mental ability of a quarterback, checking things at the line and whatnot, being able to run pitch plays. That's hard stuff to do as just a sophomore. He rolls out to the right this time and just has to throw it away before being ushered out of bounds. They're trying to get a pass again that time, and nothing opened up.
But to think as a sophomore, when you're surrounded by, I'm sure, seniors and people who are older than you, because sophomore year, it's just your second year playing high school football, he's running a lot of different aspects of their game. On defense, he has a major role, punting, and then, like I said, he's taken charge of this line as far as moving them and taking directions. So it's going to be, down the road, he's going to be a great quarterback in this Lindsay program just because he's going to know so much about this team and its functionality.
3rd and 10 here. It's going to be a handoff and a lot of room for Crew Flood up the middle. He'll pick up the first down before being brought down by Derek Templeton, but a nice run for Crew Flood moves the chains for the Leopards.
And he can run the ball. And he can move it.
So a 3rd and 10 run works out for Lindsay. And they're up to the 38-yard line here. 2 running backs in the backfield, one on each hip of the quarterback. Low snap. He scoops it up and tries to do something with it, but he's brought down, flying in off the edge that time was A.J. Rideau with the tackle. So he'll lose a yard, I believe, on that play.
Hitting a little bit of a lull here.
Actually gained a yard on that, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Just one running back in the backfield this time. They go for a hard count, no jump again. 8 seconds on the play clock here. Cameron puts it in the hands of Flood, trying to get to the outside. He's at the 40 and will be brought down by Sturdivant. Was able to wrestle him down across the 40.
Man, number 77 for Lindsay there hit his assignment perfectly as far as opening up a gap, and he pinned Jones in the perfect spot to open up that running play right there. If there's a good performance from a lineman, number 77 he completed his assignment well on that play right there.
That's junior Dennis Dedring, and he's listed at 6'4", 290, so good size for them. And did his job as a guard that time, pulling to the outside. He's there at left guard for the Leopards. 3rd and 7 here. Cameron, the quarterback, takes the snap, puts it in the hands of Flood, and he has not got a lot of room to run. Sturdivant again, one of the first in there, and a herd of Longhorns brings him down for a short gain. It'll be 4th down. So into the second half here, 7:35 to go in the third quarter, brought to you by Dave's Driving School. Certainly a decision to be made here for Lindsay, but it looks like they're going to opt for another punt.
Safe thing to do at this point, just because, the offense is taking up a lot of time. They're out there for a while, and you have kids going both ways. It's just better option for them.
So Cameron will punt and Thomas to return for the Longhorns. Good air on this punt this time. Thomas takes it at the 15. Will try for a return, trying to evade defenders. There's a penalty flag. I believe that's going to be a block in the back. He'll be dropped down at the 20, and we'll check the flag. But it looked like I saw a Longhorn trying to help out and push a Lindsay defender in the back. Then you're going to get a penalty on that every time.
Yep. They got to keep it clean here. If there's one thing that coaches are going to be critical of at this point, it's the penalties. They don't need that.
Jones has been fairly heavily penalized this season, throughout the season. I think that's a sign of a team that has a lot of young players and trying to clean it up as the season goes on. So the drive will be backed up with that penalty. We'll see where they spot the ball. Going to be all the way back at the 9-yard line, it looks like. So Jones backed up against their own goal line a little bit here with 6:57 to go in the third quarter, brought to you by Dave's Driving School. Hanson, the quarterback, is throwing a couple touchdown passes. He's run one in, has a really long run that set up a touchdown run from Luke DeBusk. He's been playing well in this game. Puts it in the hands of Coda Harris. He's looking to go to the outside, trying to find the edge. Pushes down a defender, but he loses the ball at the end. I believe it goes out of bounds, so Jones will keep possession of the football.
Thank goodness. Man, he knocked him down hard right there.
So Coda Harris, another, we talked about Cale Clark's evolution in this offense this season. Coda Harris evolving as a rusher, getting to the outside and not just being up the gut, showing some stiff arm ability to beat a guy in space. Picked up 6 yards on that and did fumble at the end, but it took a Jones roll out of bounds to keep them with possession. 2nd and 4, fake handoff this time. They throw it out. First down is picked up and still in bounds all the way across the 30. Out there is, I believe that's Creighton Jones.
Sure looks like it, which is good to see him out there too. I know he was overcoming some things.
They pick up the first down and then some. Longhorns up to the 32-yard line for 1st and 10. Had to punt off their first drive of the second half, trying to get down the field and add to their lead here. Like another play action pass here, spinning away from the tackle out there. That's Jones again. Picks up 6 or 7 on that catch on first down. Had the one-on-one matchup, and Jones, a guy that's 6'5", a lot of size on him. Good speed for that size as well. That's why he's so good in the passing game.
He's just overall a really strong athlete, and he's good really in any position you can put him in, but being out there as a receiver with someone that's got height on them, that opens up a lot for your passing game.
Coda Harris just shrugs off the first would-be tackle. Now he's going to drag a few more across for the first down across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
He looks like a pinball when he's out there. I mean, he's just bouncing off people and not losing momentum. It's crazy to see.
So Harris, another first down pickup with the run there. Jones will slow it down a little bit here. Harris going to stay in there. 2 receivers to the right, 1 will be to the left. At the top of your screen, I think that's Creighton Jones out there. Ellison, the tight end, on more of an H-back roll on this formation. Hansen will hand off to Harris again. Up the left side, has some room. Breaks another tackle. Breaks a couple more. The ball comes out, though, near the sideline. And Jones again is going to be fortunate to keep the football here.
You got to take care of the football. There's not always that much luck when you fumble the football as far as getting to keep it. So got to be really careful.
Another instance where he picked up about 7 yards, but fumbled at the end. Jones keeps it. Call it a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Harris still out there, though. He's had some really good runs, just got to hold on to the football. Hansen looking to pass this time, swings it out to Creighton Jones on another screen try. He breaks the tackle, dives ahead, just shy of the 35-yard line. But another Longhorn first down.
That's one thing about Creighton Jones is he's got such a reach on him when he is going for those first downs and those short first downs. One step is a yard for him. So it's really nice to see him working his way around the outside there.
Freshman Jose Taylor checks into the game for the Longhorns here. He's one of those guys, you look at him, he's only 5'4", 150 pounds, but he plays with a lot of heart, and he will hit you hard while they're running the ball or playing linebacker. Hansen looking to throw, trying to air it down the field, looking for Hunter Purvis at the pylon, and it is just in and out of his hands. Dropped in a bucket from Hansen, but Purvis couldn't quite hang on. Took a shot that time on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
That was a pretty pass right there, though.
It was dropped right in the bucket, but popped in and out of the arms of Hunter Purvis. And I'm not going to say that it was a straight up drop. That's a really tough catch to make.
Definitely, especially when you're going that fast. And your goal in that, first you're thinking so much about getting to the ball, and then to have to switch your mind into, okay, I need to catch this pass here. There's a lot of pressure there.
Empty backfield for Hansen, trying to pass again. Has Ellison on the slant over the middle, and he turns upfield near a first down.
Flag back here.
Going to be just shy. It's going to be a hold on Jones, even though Hansen got rid of the football about as quickly as he could have. Still time for a hold in there, according to the official.
And that one came out a little later, that flag did, but man, I sure did jinx him when I said they were playing a clean O-line. I'll take it. It's my fault. To all the Longhorns, I did it.
Jones eating up clock here in this third quarter, down to 3:41 to go in the third quarter, brought to you by Dave's Driving School. They've been running the ball a lot. Have gone for a couple of passes in a row. One incomplete. That one brought back from a holding penalty. So it'll be 2nd and 20 from the 48-yard line, just into Lindsay territory. Dakota Harris, the running back. Asen Hansen looking to throw again. Looks to air it down the right side. Has Riley Ellison, and in and out of his hands. He can't hang on. It'll be 3rd and 20.
Man, he was mad at himself for that one. That's a tough catch. He almost had himself faced too far towards the end zone, and he had to turn his body a little bit to that. And like I said, when you're running towards the end zone, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go as fast as I can. That one's tough there. He had a little too much momentum to catch that.
So 3rd and 20 here. Pretty difficult situation, but just last week we saw Jones pick up a 3rd and 45, so I'll expect anything. Harris, the running back. Hansen will look to throw. Has time. Now will roll out right with a little bit of pressure. Throws this one on the run, and it is dropped.
Man, that was a close one. Creighton Jones almost had that caught. It was a tough ball for Asen to throw, right, because he's coming towards the sideline here. So to torque his body and get that far down the field is, one, impressive. Mahomes-like almost. Mahomes adjacent, I'm going to say. And then that's tough on Creighton Jones because he is so tall, like we said, and then to throw something lower for him, he's going to have a tough time reaching that.
So 3 passes that hit the hands of receivers that could not be hauled in, and it brings up 4th down. And Jones will punt for the second time in this third quarter. Creighton Jones gets it going towards the sideline. It'll roll to around the 20, call it the 21, and it will be down there. And that's where the drive will start for Lindsay. So 3:07 to go in the third quarter, and both teams yet to score here in the third quarter. The defenses are stepping up.
You know, that's part of the reason that your first half is so important. It shifts the mood of your team, the urgency, and honestly, it really just it sets you up for success as to your aspect going into the second half. Now I feel like Jones can really focus on fixing some of the kinks and perfecting their game as opposed to having to focus so hard on trying to win the game right now.
Low snap, but Cameron handles it. Looks to throw this one deep down the field, and that is out of reach, intended for Riker McCulley. McCulley had a bit of a step on the Jones DBs, but Cameron couldn't link up with him. Excuse me. And those are tough passes. I mean, I think, as people that watch Jones a lot, we maybe take for granted how accurate on those deep balls that Asen Hansen could be. That is not an easy thing to do.
No. And I talked about that earlier, too, is when I sideline report and go from school to school, it's,
ball is fumbled in. Looks like Jones is on top of it. Riley Ellison came up with the football, and Jones is going to take over in the red zone.
Man, that doesn't hurt, does it? That changes the momentum right there. But anyway, back to, I feel like the schools I work with, Carl Albert, Dell City, and then Jones, they always have a great passing game. They have quarterbacks that can get the ball deep down the field, and there's so many other teams that want to imitate that and put that out on the field, but it's not easy to do. A lot of these quarterbacks, they're younger and younger being able to do this, and it's easy to take for granted having a quarterback that can really do it all.
2:56 to go in the third quarter. No scoring yet in this third. Brought to you by Dave's Driving School, but a big chance here for the Longhorns in the red zone after the fumble. Hand off to Dakota Harris. Has blockers with him, and he is going to be rallied down by 4 or 5 Leopards.
His helmet's off.
Picked up a yard or two, but not much more. And with his helmet coming off, he'll have to step out for at least a play. Jose Taylor checks back into the game. Jose Taylor, kid that hasn't played a lot in close games, but he's gotten a lot of time and when Jones has got big leads, and I have been impressed every time. Not a big guy, the opposite of a big guy, big kid. He's only a freshman, got time to grow, but he plays like he's big, and he'll lay a big hit if he gets the football. And he does right here, showing off a little shift. He's up to the 10, breaks a tackle. Jose Taylor scores the touchdown.
You summoned it. You asked for it. It's crazy. It's like we're calling how we want it up here, Zach, and it's just happening. It's like NCAA right now.
The freshman with a score in a playoff game, big time for Jose Taylor right there. And I talked about his power as a runner at that small size, that time showing off the shiftiness with the quick feet.
And he offers an alternative to DeBusk and Harris. While they're fast and they have size, those almost work in tandem. The heavier you get, the bigger you get, the slower you're going to be. And then having someone like him who is on the smaller side, he's a lot shiftier. Those spin moves, his steps are a lot more deceptive. So it offers an alternate point of view for the offense and puts the defense in a really difficult spot.
Colson Lindsay just narrowly avoids getting his PAT blocked, but it did force a miss. So he misses the PAT, but Jones still on top, 34-0 with that Jose Taylor touchdown run. Minute 59 to go in the third quarter. You're watching the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Bank First is uniquely Oklahoman, deeply rooted in over 50 communities statewide. From those roots, our investment in education springs forth, helping to raise the Oklahoma leaders of tomorrow while providing financial strength to the business leaders of today. That's the kind of loyalty that helps entire communities thrive. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Colson Lindsay kicks off the extra point here. It'll be fielded by Crew Flood. Mason Templeton trying to track him down. Couldn't. Flag flies. Flood still on his feet. The ball ends up in Jones' hands. They're trying to return it, and they will bring it back for a score. We'll have to check the flag here. Crew Flood fumbled the football after a good return.
This is one of those situations we need binoculars and white jerseys as opposed to the green ones.
And the flag is right around where Crew Flood went down. So it's going to depend on this penalty, whether that sticks as a Jones touchdown.
Was that Pitts that ran that in? I can't tell, Zach.
Looks like it was Chase Pitts. My producer here tells me it was. They're able to run that back.
I was right. That means I was right.
So the penalty was on Lindsay, declined by Jones. They'll accept a touchdown. And just like that, they didn't score anything in most of the third quarter for about the first 13 minutes or 12 or 13 minutes of the third quarter. And now in the last, couple of seconds in clock time, they've got 2 touchdowns.
Man, and it'd be nice to see a score similar to what we've got going on with Metro's game. They've put up a lot of points, so if Jones can do the same, that'd be awful nice.
Checked at halftime, and Metro was up 42-0 over Bethel. So that's looking increasingly like the matchup. Lindsay redeems himself on this extra point. 41-0. Jones with the lead after the special teams unit and gets involved with the scoring. You're watching the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
A Jose Taylor touchdown run, and then on the kickoff after that, a forced fumble, returned for a touchdown by Jones, and all of a sudden they're up 41-0 here as they'll kick it off again. This one's going to be fielded by Aiden Beck, and he is going to be dropped shy of the 20, looks like. But again, the Taylor touchdown run, I didn't even get you the scoring recap on that before Jones scored another touchdown on special teams. Both those scoring recaps are brought to you by Jones Nutrition. They bring the best smoothies and energizing drinks in town, and they're proud supporters of Jones Athletics. 9244 Hiawassee Suite 400. Check them out on social media or just stop in and say hi. So with 1:40 to go in the third quarter, brought to you by Dave's Driving School, there's a 41-0 lead for Jones. It was only 28-0 with about 2.5 minutes left to go in the quarter. That's how quickly things change. A run for Dutton Taylor trying to get to the outside. Jed Bibby will bring him down after a gain of 5 or 6.
We're looking at scores right now, trying to get some updates.
So 41-0 lead, and Lindsay's still trying to run the ball. That's what their offense is best at. We've seen them try to work in a few passes. Have only completed one pass by memory today. Cameron will hand this one off. A run up the middle and upended is the running back, Drew Flood. Templeton in there.
Man, it looks like all the scores we were wanting to see, I can't get an updated score on, so.
Check that. That was Trip Riders and Trey Sturdivant combining to upend the running back. They were able to pick up our first down, but he took a big shot at the end of that run. Dutton Taylor in the backfield for the Leopards. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. And another handoff for Taylor. It breaks through the first tackler. Now he's got the room to run. Gets past another Jones defender. He's to the 30, to the 25. Tries to cut it back in, and he will be brought down by Walker Hembry inside the 20-yard line.
Oh, he's hurting.
Biggest play of the day for the Lindsay Leopards. Has them in the red zone for, I think, the first time today.
Yeah, as far as I remember.
Taylor did come up slow, but he is staying in the game, looking towards the sideline here. He'll stay in the backfield. And why not after that big-time run?
Yeah, you almost wonder if some of that is just he had a far run. That was a far run and a lot of work to put in, so.
Now that big-time run for the Leopards ends the third quarter. Put your fours up, heading to the fourth. Jones with a 41-0 lead in round one of the playoffs on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
You're watching Jones Longhorns playoff football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Zach Reynolds and Tessa Durrell bringing you the action, and it is 41-0 Longhorns as we enter the fourth quarter here. But Lindsay Leopards with their best opportunity to score here so far in this game. They're in the red zone at the 17-yard line after a long run from Dutton Taylor. Isaac Cameron, the quarterback, hands off to Taylor again, and he will be brought down immediately. And that is A.J. Rideau coming off the edge to bring him down.
And I'm going to say this, and we were just talking about you're up here in the box, you're probably going to jinx it when you say something. But this is one of the better defensive performances I've seen from Jones. I think in their last 3 games or so, they really kind of stepped into their own, and it's showing tonight.
Loss of 1 on the play makes it 2nd and 11. Taylor stays in at running back. Earlier in the game, it was more of a share between him and Flood. Taylor, another run, trying to get to the outside. Now cuts it back up, and it'll take a couple of Longhorns to bring him down after he gains 2 or 3 on that player. Probably about 4 to make it 3rd down. And Flood, I will mention, who has gotten a lot of reps at running back today, was the one on the return who fumbled the ball when Jones returned that for a touchdown. And he did come up limping, and he has not returned since then. It's been Dutton Taylor in the backfield. It's going to be 3rd and 7 after the run from Taylor that time. Taylor will stay in the backfield at the right hip of Cameron. Man comes in motion. It's a handoff. Taylor did take the handoff, but he didn't have much room to run. Heard Longhorns in on the stop. Cranford and Rideau at the bottom of the pile. Gain of 1, but it's 4th down and 6 here from the 14-yard line. Right now, it looks like the offense is going to stay out there.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, this is some of the better positions Lindsay's been in anyway. So you might as well go for it at this point.
10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter here at Tim Wallace Memorial Stadium, first round of the playoffs. Wallace will look to throw. Has some pressure, trying to roll away. Just thinks this throw off before he's sacked, but either way, it'll be a turnover on downs. Jones will take over.
Man, that's a good performance by defense right there. It's always exciting to get a sack.
Dialed up the blitz off that left edge.
They're playing with a lot of pride right now, and I think that's something in past teams you see at Jones, but not to the extent that I've seen from this team. Although the score is 41-0, there's no quit. They're still going as hard as they can right now.
Jones takes back over on offense with a 41-0 lead. 9:35 to go in the 4th quarter. Hansen back out there leading the Longhorns. Fakes a handoff, now swings it out. That's Hunter Purvis trying to get past one defender, and he will be slung out of bounds by Melvin McDonald. McDonald got a hold of Purvis's jersey as he was trying to break away from him. Gain of 2 or 3 on that play. Call it 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 19 here. Mm-hmm. Jones has mixed the run and pass pretty well today. They've gone a little bit more pass heavy here in the 3rd quarter and now into the 4th. Going to be a run for Jose Taylor this time, trying to go up the right side. He picks up a couple of yards, 3 more. Going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd and 4, we'll call it.
The game's kind of hitting a lull here, it seems like.
Well, Jones slowing things down here, willing to eat up clock in the 4th quarter. Under 8:20 now to go in the 4th. Empty backfield on 3rd and 5 for Asen Hansen. Looking to throw, swings this one out to Creighton Jones, makes the first guy miss, and he's going to be right near that 1st down marker. And he does pick it up. Guy that big to be able to make a guy miss with a juke that way. That just kind of tells you the kind of athlete Creighton Jones is.
And he was upset by that. That was an upsetting thing for him because he wanted to go farther than that. So that also tells you that he's competitive. He's a competitor for sure.
Jose Taylor in the backfield for the Longhorns on the left hip of Hansen. 3 receivers to the left side. Hansen will look to throw it that way. Now we'll pull it and roll out to the right. Looking to run. He's up to the 40. He'll take the 1st down and will step out of bounds. Avoids the hit.
Smart. We like to see that, especially at this point in the game. Don't take a hit you don't need to.
And speaking of smart, it wasn't designed that way. He was supposed to throw that to the left side. Lindsay covered it up well, and he just took off to the right to pick up the 1st down anyway. That's smart. A lot of young quarterbacks throw it because they're supposed to throw it, and it ends up bad for the offense. Instead, Hansen finds a way to pick up the 1st down with his legs. Under 7 minutes to go now in the 4th quarter. Hansen will take the snap. Fakes a handoff to Taylor. Now he'll swing it over to Purvis. And it is incomplete.
Yep. Moved a little too fast on the pass there. If you're that close, it's tough to throw a pass rather than like a pitch pass at that point because, I mean, Asen kind of zipped it in there to Purvis.
Purvis getting some more playing time here in this second half. And, again, he's just a sophomore, but he's got a ton of speed as well. We've seen him back in the second game of the year at Kiefer, caught a 90-yard touchdown pass from Mason Hansen. He caught it at about the 50 and then outran the defense from there. So he's got big-time speed. He's still in the game in that slot spot. Hansen looking to throw, looks towards the right side. Now we'll air it down the field, looking for Creighton Jones one-on-one. It is going to be incomplete, but a flag flies. Likely pass interference. It was Melvin McDonald in coverage. One-on-one with Creighton Jones.
Man. Look at him handing that flag back. What a gentleman.
So Jones going to pick up the first down with the penalty, the pass interference. And, you know, if you're Asen Hansen, it's hard not to try a one-on-one with a guy that's 6'5" like Creighton Jones and has his speed.
Yes, and with the way the game tonight has gone, odds are you're winning that one-on-one. But then also, in order for them to stop it, they're going to have to do something and interfere, which will end up with a flag. So your odds there definitely lean towards throw that ball.
1st and 10 from the 46 minutes to go in the fourth. Another run for Jose Taylor up the middle, has a lot of room. He's going to pick up 8 or 9. Credit to the offensive line on that one. Taylor's got a rushing touchdown in this game. And now picks up some more yardage there. It'll be 2nd and 2, officially a pickup of 8 on that play. And again, Jones, usually a high-tempo offense with a 41-0 lead in the fourth quarter. They're slowing it down and killing the clock here.
Out of character for sure. It feels odd.
5:20 to go in the fourth. Taylor will stay in at running back. Ellison in that H-back spot. Another handoff for Jose Taylor. He'll pick up the first down. Jukes out a defender, still on his feet, all the way to the 15, just shy of the 10. Jose Taylor with the shiftiness again.
Man, he's got to feel good because when he has that football right now, he's seeing a lot of success. So that's got to be really exciting. Exciting for Jones as the whole offense, but also for him as an individual.
So Jose Taylor making the most of his opportunities here in a playoff game. It's got Jones back in the red zone, up to the 13-yard line. Hansen in the offense awaiting the play call here for this 1st and 10 play. A couple of runs in a row for Jose Taylor. Let's see if he gets another one. And he does. He'll break it to the outside. There's going to be a flag flown. Stiff arm from Taylor. Dives for the pylon. He'll be right near the goal line, but the flag in the backfield.
Holding, maybe.
Typically when a flag's in that spot, that's what it is. We'll wait the official call from the referee in the white hat here. And Jones will be backed up on this one. Nonetheless, I like to see that stiff arm from Jose Taylor again. He's small, but he's wiry and not afraid to get into a guy.
That's a lot of, characteristic of the Jones team right now is they play their guts out, and Jose's a part of that.
So the holding penalty makes it 1st and 20 from the 23-yard line. Longhorns can pick up a first down without getting to the end zone if they need to do that. First down marker around the 4-yard line right now. Hansen will look to throw. Throws to the right side, and that one's nearly picked off. It falls to the ground there, but jumping the route that time was Aiden Beck.
Poor Zach's fighting the cough demons up here.
I apologize.
Poor Zach. It's 6 season, everybody.
3:50 to go in the fourth quarter here. It'll be 2nd and 24, the Longhorns. Trying to finish out this game and move on to the next round of the playoffs. Another run for Jose Taylor, breaking it to the outside. He's up to the 15 and will be brought down there.
It took 3 Leopards to get him down. And that may not be something you assume when he first gets the ball. But, man, his speed and the way he runs, he's tough to get down.
Again, just a freshman. He could hit a growth spurt, or even if he doesn't, he's certainly going to be a part of the Longhorns' plans in the future at that running back spot.
Yeah, he's doing fine now.
So makes it a 3rd and 10 with that pickup. Again, they need to get to the 4-yard line for a first down. Clock will roll under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter here. Hansen letting the play clock down to 1. Now he'll look to pass, and it is batted at the line. He was trying to throw a slant, and it was batted at the line for an incompletion.
That's one you're okay with at this point in the game. It's okay to give that one up.
Colson Lindsay going to come out. Looks like he'll try a field goal. Hasn't gotten many of those this year. He's been really good on extra points throughout the year. Only a handful of missed extra points, but not many true field goal attempts. See what he can do with this one.
This one's
be about a 31-yarder here for Colson Lindsay. Trayton Jones to hold. Lindsay's boot is up, and he knocks it through. So good on the freshman Colson Lindsay. 30-yard field goal is good. It is 44-0. Jones Longhorns with the lead. 2:48 to go in the fourth quarter in the opening round of the playoffs on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Bank First is uniquely Oklahoman, deeply rooted in over 50 communities statewide. From those roots, our investment in education springs forth, helping to raise the Oklahoma leaders of tomorrow while providing financial strength to the business leaders of today. That's the kind of loyalty that helps entire communities thrive. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Back on the Oklahoma Sports Network, where Jones leads 44-0 in the opening round of the OSSAA playoffs here, Class 2A playoffs, where it came in as a 2 seed out of their district, and it has been all Jones in this game. Defense pitching a shutout right now, and the offense putting up 44 points. Lindsay boots away the kickoff here, fielded by the Leopards. That's Aiden Beck. And he will be brought down across the 26. And that was, looked like Jose Rojas on the tackle. So Lindsay will take over the drive here. They got down to the red zone their last time and went for it on 4th down, could not convert, and turned it over. And Jones with a long drive to score that ended in a field goal from Colson Lindsay. And that recap brought to you by Jones Nutrition. They're bringing the best smoothies and energizing drinks in town, and they're proud supporters of Jones Athletics at 9244 Hiawassee Suite 400. Run up the middle this time for Lindsay, and a nice pickup, 5 or 6 yards that time from our new running back into the game for the first time. That's Aiden Turner. So Aiden Turner picks up a good yardage on that one. Give him 8 on the play, or 7 rather, to make it 2nd and 3. 2:10 to go here in the fourth quarter, left in this game. Another handoff. This time it's to Dutton Taylor. Had a big run early in the game, and now he's got a big one again. He's across the 50. Nothing but green grass in front of them. Longhorns trying to chase them down, and they won't. Dutton Taylor with a big-time touchdown run from the 35 to the end zone. And I will apologize for mentioning that Jones was pitching a shutout. I'll take the announcer's jinx on that one. So Lindsay on the board with a long Dutton Taylor run, his second big-time run like that of the game. And they get their first points with 1:54 to go in the fourth. They'll go for 2, it looks like here. Aiden Turner in the backfield with Isaac Cameron, the quarterback. Cameron will roll out left, pitch it, and it'll be a throw from a wide receiver, and it's completed. So that was Riker McCulley who threw the pass to Aiden Beck to complete the 2-point conversion to make it 44-8. With 1:54 to go, Lindsay trying to make a miracle happen with just a couple of minutes. They get on the board. 44-8. We'll be back in a moment on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
After the touchdown score from Dutton Taylor on the long run, it's 44-8. Jones still with a big-time lead. 1:54 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll see what the kick is like here from Will Lawrence. See if he tries it onside or just a regular kick. And he will boot this one away regularly. It's going to be Ben Williams to take it. He's at the 30, cuts it back towards the middle, up to about the 38, 39-yard line before he is brought down. And that's where Jones will take over with 1:42 to go. Got Tessa Durrell going down to the sideline, hoping to get interviews in the postgame from a couple of players, the players of the game, and then Coach Witt as well. Hopefully have that for you in the postgame. Jones will take at least one more drive here, likely trying to just run out the clock. Cash Marinko goes out as the quarterback. Ben Williams out as the running back. Clock continues to roll here under 1.5 minutes to go in the fourth. Marinko hands off to Williams. No, keeps it himself. He'll try to run it on the QB keeper up the middle across the 50. Nice run for Cash Marinko. Picks up a first down. And that'll let the clock roll well under a minute here to go in the fourth quarter. No timeouts being called from Lindsay, so one more play here should just about do it. First round of the playoffs, and Jones is not disappointed. 44-8, looking for a big-time win to head into the second-round matchup, likely to be against Metro Christian next week at Metro Christian. Williams, a run this time, gains a few up the right side. And that should just about do it. Clock will roll down here. No need to snap another as the play clock is higher than the game clock. The Jones Longhorns, big-time win in the opening round of the playoffs, 44-8 over the Lindsay Leopards. The Longhorns move on, host the first playoff game of this year, and they win big time. Now they'll go on the road. It'll be tougher, but they're trying to make a big-time run in the playoffs like they did last year, trying to get even farther than they did last year. And they start off on the right foot with a 44-8 win over the Lindsay Leopards. Asen Hansen with a big-time game, rushed for a touchdown, threw for a couple of more. Chase Pitts, 2 receiving touchdowns, both of them deep balls, showing off his speed. They are the players of the game, and Tessa Durrell will be with them when she can find them after the handshake line. And then we'll hear from Coach Witt as well about this game and what's left ahead as the playoffs continue after Jones wins on the opening round here. Big performance from the defense as well. Gave up just 8 points, and that was at the end of the game with only a couple of minutes left. They pitched a shutout all the way up to the last couple of minutes. Big-time defensive performance, again, from Jones, which we expect. That's a big calling card of this team, is the defense. And firing on all cylinders to beat a 3-seed, very good Lindsay team, 44-8. Before we get the interviews here, we're going to have, obviously, the Jones faithful going over to the student section of the crowd and paying their respects to them as they do after every game. Last home game of the season likely for Jones with this opening round of the playoffs, and then they'll be on the road the rest of the way through the postseason. So 44-8 win. Luke DeBusk had a touchdown run as well in this game, a number of tackles on defense. And Jones came away with 2 forced fumbles as well, one on a kickoff return, or that was returned for a touchdown itself from Jones. So they scored even on special teams. Big time win again, 44-8. As Tessa down there trying to get a hold of a couple of players here, hopefully Asen Hansen and Chase Pitts. Asen Hansen down there with her. I hope to hear from Coach Witt as well. Looks like we're going to get Coda Harris down there with Asen Hansen. Now we will send it down there to Tessa Durrell with Asen Hansen and Coda Harris. 2 big-time performances for the Longhorns in this big-time 44-8 win.
All right, I'm down here with 2 players of the game for us. So first off, I'm going to start with Asen. We've talked about it up in the press box, your game developing over the course of this season, how you've turned out to be a very versatile player. What has kind of gone into that in your preparation, and how do you expect to become even more versatile as the playoffs go on?
I mean, first off, you just listen to your coaches. Their game plan is right, so as long as you trust your game plan and your offensive line, then it makes your job easy.
Now, speaking of versatility, you're a huge part of that, a passing game and a great running game. What do you think you bring to the table as far as keeping your offense versatile across the board, but then also what you bring as a running back with having so many running backs?
I think it's just you got to trust the people up front, and even if you make a mistake, you just keep your head up and keep doing what you're doing. And what I think I bring to the running game is I'm a power back. I just go downhill and just do my thing, I guess.
Now, what goes through your mind when you see 5 players? We counted at one point. There were 6 people it took to bring you down. What's going through your mind, or is that something you even think about at that point?
If I get hit hard, I think about it, but usually I don't, so I don't really think about it. I just keep running.
Well, thank you guys so much. We'll go back to you guys for a bit.
Well, thanks to Tessa for that. Now she's trying to link up with Coach Kevin Witt and get his thoughts on this game and what's to come in the future of the playoffs. We'll send it back down to Tessa for that.
All right, I'm down here with Coach Witt from Jones. Now, Coach, coming off of this game, what are some good things you saw from your team tonight?
Their focus, and they just kept playing hard, and they stuck to game plan, just executing. That was our game plan, is just keep doing what we're doing and up our level of execution.
Now, next week, a tough matchup. Metro Christian played here years ago and lost to Metro Christian. How does that history change how you're going to approach this game?
It really doesn't. I mean, it's just the same approach we've had to every game, and we got to continue to get better because these guys are one of the best in the state as well.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
Well, thanks to Tessa for that. Again, kind of pulling a double duty, running down there towards the last couple minutes of the game to get interviews after doing color up here. So thanks to her for that. And we'll have at least one more Jones game for you, hopefully more than that. But as Jones wins tonight, they will move on in the playoffs and face likely Metro Christian next week. We will bring you that game here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. So make sure to follow the Oklahoma Sports Network on any social media that you're on, and stay tuned. Download the app and be ready for that as Jones moves on in the playoffs after a big 44-8 win over the Lindsay Leopards on the opening round of the Oklahoma high school playoffs. 44-8 for everybody on the Jones Oklahoma Sports Network crew. We want to thank them, Vance again, and Cole as well, helping us out with these streams all year long. Thanks to Tessa for helping out as well. I'm Zach Reynolds. We'll see you next week for round 2 of the playoffs.